Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Arsenal Transfer Room Live. It's a Sunday evening and we have a bomber, ladies and gentlemen. David Ornstein and the rest, the people that follow David Ornstein, have come out this evening with some delightful news about Viktor Gyökeres. We have a breakthrough and we're going to talk about it. There's loads of you here already, which we love to see. Pekka, thank you very, very much for being a member for 4 months. What an absolute legend. Loads of people here, like I said, Nid, Vivi, Vlad, Jordan, North London Forever, Steve, Didi Dart is here as well. I Heats, Lukey, Guna, Vivi, Vlad, Ethan Udall. You'll love to see it. Loads of you in here. And we've got it. Stefan, thank you for being a member for 1 month. It's been a month already. It has indeed. It has indeed. And obviously the support you have given this channel in that month has been absolutely unbelievable, Stefan. So I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Let's hope this deal finally goes through. I think it will. I think it will. How do I become a member? The down below next to the subscribe button, I think there's a thing that says join the channel. And you do it through there, I believe. Tom, thank you very much for the 249. Need that. Here we go. Now, for me, this from Ornstein is like as good enough. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, the here we go is always useful, but I'm confident now. And there we go. Stefan has gifted a membership to the channel. If you've just been gifted a membership by Stefan, please do make sure to thank him in the chat. And as always, if you want to increase your likelihood of getting a gifted, like and subscribe. Genuinely does help. That's not just me trying to bait you into supporting the channel, but you should be supporting the channel anyway. Casual, thank you very much for the 199. We are alive. Now get Eze or Rodrigo in for the trophy. Look, fingers crossed. I think that one will come a little bit later in the window. I think we're going to have to start selling before that one happens, but it is good. It is good. Stefan, let's go. There you go. Ashton, seems like he got the membership from that. You'll love to see it. Do you have a side in the tennis? Do you have the tennis on at the side? I don't. I was watching it, rooting for Alcaraz, but Alcaraz was losing last time I checked. It's been unbelievable. The quality of the tennis has been unbelievable. Also, sweating unbelievably. We might have to put the bucket hat on at some point. Boardsy, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Can't lie, I'm a little gutted with Gyökeres. I honestly wanted Sesko. Look, I completely appreciate people that wanted Sesko over Gyökeres. And ultimately, if Sesko had been available, if they'd even like tried to negotiate Leipzig, maybe I could have seen us going for him. But the way it is, I think it ended up being Gyökeres or nothing. And to do it now, to get him done before the window starts, before the tour starts, I think is phenomenal. Handoff Berta has gifted 5 memberships. Handoff Berta, thank you very much. What a name and what a contribution to the channel. If you've just been gifted a membership by Hand of Berta, please do make sure to thank him in the chat. And Logical Nonsense is a new member off his own back. What a legend. Thank you very, very much for the support. As always, all of the membership money goes straight back into the channel. Although I will be honest with you, I genuinely think next up, the next investment for the channel is going to be an air conditioning unit that can attach to the window because this is insane. Is the XP thing and leaderboard new? What does that mean, Pekka? I'm not sure. There you go. There you go. There is a new member thanks to Hand of Berta. Legend, legend, legend. Are you going to do a Club World Cup final watch-along? No, I'm not going to do a watch-along. I will watch the game, not going to do a watch-along. However, watch-alongs are going to return for the tour. So when we go on tour, the games against AC Milan, Tottenham, we are going to be doing watch-alongs for them. So the watch-alongs will return. Lukey, thank you very much for 13 months. Unbelievable support from Lukey. Big 13 months, been here since the start of the stream train. And now it looks like it's coming back into the station. We are moments away from entering the station with Viktor Gyökeres aboard the steam train. We love to see it. To actually clarify what has been said this evening, for those of you that haven't seen it, David Ornstein, 29 minutes ago now, said Arsenal are in the process of completing the move for Viktor Gyökeres after taking the final steps in negotiations with Sporting Lisbon. Arsenal made formal advances on deal terms over the weekend in a bid to secure the 27-year-old striker. 5-year contract lined up. And that was it. And then, of course, you know, your Plettigolds and stuff, suddenly they start waving checkered flags on tweets that they made previously as if they're the first ones to it. But hats off to David Ornstein, by the way. He is the best in the business. He has not, I actually went back and checked, by the way. He hasn't mentioned Benjamin Sesko in a tweet since June last year when Sesko renewed his contract at Leipzig. He hasn't mentioned him once. Victor Gyökeres, he has tweeted about a couple of times. Not the daily updates, what Gyökeres had for breakfast, all that stuff. He just comes in with the big one and moves on. Outside of that, also credit to Hand of Arsenal, because Hand of Arsenal retweeted about half an hour before Ornstein's tweet came out. He retweeted a tweet about Gyökeres from before. And I questioned if that meant there had been a breakthrough. And then half an hour this came out. So, and I know Hand of Arsenal models himself on David Ornstein. So he's the GOAT. I missed something there. Carl, thank you very much for gifting a membership to the channel. If you've just been gifted a membership by Carl, please do make sure to thank you in the chat. The membership, the team of members is growing exponentially. Thoughts on the 80 million tag? Get it done. Don't mind it. I mean, the price tag. Look, we'll go through and see what some other people have said. Normally, I would have lined up all of these in a document so that I could do them quickly. But literally, it only came out half an hour ago, so we've just gone straight live. This is what Fabrizio Romano had to say. The agreement between Arsenal and Sporting for Victor Gyökeres is getting closer after new contacts today. Negotiations between clubs were never off, despite reports that Gyökeres only wanted Arsenal. Arsenal now willing to get closer to 70 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons as Sporting won. Will Bowden, thank you very much for the 199 that says, will Madueke and Gyökeres be ready for pre-season? Gyökeres definitely will be. Madueke, I mean, if he gets like a 3-week holiday, he'll be close. To be honest, he'll be close. Madueke will probably be ready for... He'll probably be ready for the Emirates Cup games. So, yeah, I think they'll both be ready. So, yeah, 70 million euros plus 10 in add-ons. That's what, like 60 million pounds plus however much in add-ons. You know, that's fine. That's fine. Gyökeres celebration at Old Trafford. We used to pray for times like this. I know. Look, at the end of the day, right, some people... I mean, immediately it's hilarious. In the tweets that this looks like it's finally going to happen, suddenly Liverpool fans in the replies talking about him being an ex-Premier League flop that's 27-year-old. Like, so if he'd gone to another club, people would have been saying, oh my God, why haven't Arsenal signed him? So people will flip up on their opinions on him now. But for me, look, if this doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. At least I will know we went out into the market and we got the guy that puts the ball in the back of the net at a better rate than anyone else. Like, I can't really ask for more than that. We have tried various different attacking players that add lots and do this and do that. We've gone and got the guy that has the mentality and that has the ability to put it in the back of the net. So if it goes wrong, I can't complain, and I won't complain. Hugo Ekitike to Newcastle. What do you think this means for Isak? Gone next year? Hopefully Barcelona or Real Madrid. Yeah, I don't think Ekitike going to Newcastle means they're going to get rid of Isak. I don't. If Newcastle want to take the next step, they have to keep Isak whilst bringing in Ekitike. If they bring Ekitike and lose Isak, they're not improving. And that'll keep happening until they're able to do that. So we'll wait and see, but we've got Victor Gyökeres. That is the most important thing. A few other people have tweeted about it. Hand of Arsenal. Literally like 30 seconds, to be fair, after Ornstein tweeted, said Arsenal are close to reaching a full agreement for the transfer of Victor Gyökeres. Sami Mokbel, who is another leading journalist, said Arsenal on the verge of reaching a full agreement with Sporting Lisbon to sign Victor Gyökeres. And we'll go and see what Ben Jacobs had to say as well. Ben Jacobs said, where is it? Arsenal are finalising a move for Victor Gyökeres after a breakthrough on Saturday. Structure almost agreed in principle. As reported yesterday, Saturday viewed as a key day in talks. And the expectation is that the deal is now completed this week. And that will enable him to be ready for the tour. So on the tour, by the way, we have a behind closed doors game on Saturday, next Saturday, behind closed doors against Watford. And then immediately after that, the players are going on tour. So that is That's how that is happening. Rory, read Chris Wheatley. What's Chris Wheatley got to say? Chris Wheatley has said, Arsenal close to sealing the signing of Victor Gyökeres. His agent is expected to forego a portion of his fee to help the Gunners meet Sporting's demands. Madueke and Mosquera deals also in the pipeline. Interesting. So maybe that was the final thing. It was actually the agent. Because we did hear, and we mentioned this on stream really quite a long time ago, that Victor Gyökeres' agent wanted a big fee and that was a problem. If he's foregone a portion of that, Gyökeres has also foregone some of his salary. Look, they've both done what they can to get it through. So happy days, happy days. Outside of that, Fabrizio Romano also said this evening. Fabrizio Romano said, alongside Gyökeres deal close, Arsenal are also planning to advance on Christian Mosquera deal with Valencia, as the player only wants Arsenal, and get a new deal done for Ethan Nwaneri in the next few days after progress revealed yesterday. And there were a couple of other things that came out today, that the Nwaneri deal is very close to happening now, and that Arsenal are ready to actually make the offer. And I saw some people reply to that being like, why haven't Arsenal made an offer to Nwaneri already? What tends to happen is you verbally agree on what will be accepted, and then you put it in writing and actually make the offer. Because the last thing you want from a publicity standpoint is to make the offer and have it rejected. Like, you don't want it going into the media that Nwaneri's rejected an offer to stay at Arsenal. So the fact that we're ready to put that offer in would suggest that is ready to go. And then, yeah, the Mosquera one, someone else actually spoke about Mosquera today. I can't remember who it was. Let me try and find it. The other thing on Mosquera today was, it was actually from Henry Winter. Now, Henry Winter is a very highly regarded journalist in the UK, like one of the top, most well-respected football journalists. He's not really a transfer news kind of guy, like, not at all. But he randomly tweeted this morning, should be a good week for Arsenal. Madueke and Mosquera in, Gyökeres deal fee virtually agreed, just at the add-on debating stage, plus dealing with agent substantial cut, and Arsenal being strong on that point. So he's not in any way, shape, or form a traditional transfer news journalist. And yet this was like 12 hours before anyone else was really mentioning it. He had Mosquera news and this news about Victor Gyökeres and the agent fee. So hats off to him, in fairness. But yeah, so he's saying that Mosquera is coming in as well. It sounds like basically Arsenal are going to go back in for the bid for Mosquera, and it is going to happen because Valencia know that he wants to move and he's not going to renew a contract, so they kind of have to let it happen. Henry Winter, the real goat, yeah. New Romano reply. Wow, we're getting into the Fabrizio Romano replies at this point. What has he said? Fabrizio has said, so AFC Stuff reported Arsenal and Sporting are getting closer. Basically, they quoted Fabrizio. And Fabrizio just replied to it with, never been off, only Arsenal for Victor. Winky face. So there you go. And look, this is the thing. Like, for me, among the few things that I'm incredibly happy with Victor Gyökeres, one of them is just this mentality. This mentality of, I am going to Arsenal. I am going to compete. No worries about whether or not he can compete with Kai Havertz. I'm going to Arsenal. And I will do anything and everything to make it happen. Is Berta human? Listen, I think Berta is an incredibly cold customer in a good way. Like, everyone said with this deal, with the Victor Gyökeres deal, Arsenal was still calm. Arsenal was still calm. We sat where we sat. We were happy with what we'd bid, and it was going to figure itself out. I like it. I like it a lot. Bradley, thank you for the 199. This Bomber and Chelsea L will hit. Yeah, we will finish the stream before the Chelsea game so that people can go and watch that if they want to. But Bradley, thank you very much for the 199. I do appreciate that one. What else was there today? Yes, there's a bit on Jakub Kiwior as well, actually. Where was it? Was it this, maybe? Oh, yeah. So it was further down in the Henry Winter tweet. He said, also busy week on potential outgoings, generating income from Kivior, Nelson, Trossard, Vieira, and Zinchenko. And Kivior was an interesting one for him to put there. I think we all knew that we would be generating income from Reece Nelson, Trossard, obviously, potentially, Vieira and Zinchenko, but Kivior, possibly not. But he's put that name in there. Stefan, thank you very, very much for gifting a membership. If you've just been gifted a membership by Stefan, please do make sure to thank him in the chat. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. There's over 1,000 of you here, by the way. That might be the first time we've hit 1,000 concurrent viewers. Please do subscribe if you're new. We are less than 400 subscribers away from 21,000 subscribers, which is incredible support. There's also a new video that I posted today about Noni Madueke and why we've signed him. So if you've got nothing better to do later this evening, feel free to go and watch that. But and if you could click the like button. The like button massively helps me. That would be fantastic. But there was someone else said something about Kivior. Oh, yeah, Nicolo Shearer today said Jakub Kivior is no longer central in Arteta's plans and he could leave Arsenal this summer. Now, this is an interesting one because, in my opinion, selling Jakub Kivior does not relate to bringing in Mosquera. Mosquera is half related to losing Tomiyasu and half related to the fact that we needed right-sided support. We needed support for Saliba, and we needed support for White and Timber. Between the three of them were not enough to cover that right-hand side. So Mosquera made a lot of sense. If you lose Kivior, I still think you need to bring another player in. If you lose Jakub Kivior, all right, you've got Calafiori as backup to Gabriel. But then you're in a situation where, and if you sell Zinchenko as well, which you assume we will, then you're in a situation where now your left-hand pocket is looking a bit weak because you've got Gabriel, Calafiori, and Miles Lewis-Skelly to cover the left-hand side of things. So we would have to, in my opinion, go for Joel Hatto, which I'd be very happy with. I just don't see it working otherwise. And when you factor in on that left-hand side, you factor in Calafiori's injury history last year, which was poor, and there's no guarantees that it gets any better. Then you factor in Gabriel is coming off the back of a torn hamstring. I really don't think we could afford to lose Kivior and not replace him. So Joel Hatto could be the one that we go for if we lose him. But then again, if you sell Kivior for 20 mil and bring in Hatto for 40 mil, that's another net 20 that you could have spent on the attack. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to see what we do. John says maybe an overlapping fullback instead. Maybe we do just start looking at Calafiori more as the centre-back, a left-sided centre-back, and you go and get a left wing-back. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I've said for a long time, I think we need a wing-back as an option, as something different that we can try in games when things aren't really going our way. So, yeah, maybe. Stefan has gifted another membership to the channel. Unbelievable. If you've just been gifted a membership by Stefan, please do make sure to thank him in the chat. Just Ornstein level consistency with his output does Stefan have. Stefan dropping memberships like Berta dropping the signings, both legends. Honestly. Carl says, think Calafiori could do the overlapping role like Ben White? He can do it. The only thing I worry about is just him getting up and down with his injuries. But yeah, keep him fully fit. I mean, Calafiori will underlap, overlap, invert, outvert, end up on the right wing from left centre back when you're down to 10 men. Like, he's mental. He's a mental player. But yeah, Stefan's the front for KSC. Yeah, literally. It's just this is just the Cronky's way of paying me for the propaganda. That's how it works. Like the stream, guys. Yeah, please do like the stream. But yeah, so on Kivior, we'll see. Look, if a good offer comes in, I think to me, it would really depend on the offer. If we ended up selling him for like 20 mil, I don't think that's enough. For what he did last season, at the end of last season, where he legitimately performed to a high level in the Premier League and against Real Madrid and against PSG, like, I really don't think you can lose him for like 20 mil. Yeah, it's one of those where if he did that for a lesser team, his value would be like 50, 60 million. I promise you. If he did what he did for Arsenal for I don't know, Nottingham Forest, or like Newcastle or something, it would just be, his value would be so much more. Jim, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Says, I bloody missed it. I was having dinner. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. I was watching the cricket and the tennis The BOMBA came in. I went to make a TikTok on the BOMBA. It was the final over of the day in the cricket, and I missed a Ben Stokes wicket. So, listen, we've all been caught off guard. It's a Sunday evening. You know, you don't expect these on the Sunday evening. But Jim, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. 1,100 of you here, by the way. This is a record-breaking stream. Please do like and subscribe. What a day. What an evening. Even Chelsea, to be honest, he would be 60 mil there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Eli says, Rory, play Expedition 33. Amazing game. What's it on? Is it on PlayStation? I do need a new game today. I really want to get back into the Twitch streams. I really do. So that could be a thing. Expedition 33. Interesting. I haven't refreshed, so it says there's only one like. Well, hopefully there's more than one like. I would be devastated if there was only one like. 45 to 50 million price tag. What, for Kivior? Yeah, at least, I would say. At least. Give rematch a look. Rematch. Multiple people said rematch. Maybe. 350 likes. We love to see it. On Mosquera, I think it's a necessary signing. Same with Madueke, looking at it. You know, I was thinking today, when we talk about depth and the need for depth, right? On top of them, we have to go and get either Eze or Rodrigo as well. But you've got to think, we are going into next season. It's not just about the squad of players that we've got. It's also about the season that they had last season. A lot of those players either picked up big injuries or didn't pick up any big injury and therefore played a huge amount of the season. Declan Rice, for example, hasn't gone to Spain. He's still doing a personal program in London, I believe. I think he's still in London doing a personal fitness thing. You know, you've got Gabriel, Saka, Havertz all going in off the back of torn hamstrings. You've got Jesus is going to return off the back of an ACL. You've got Timber's going to return off the back of ankle surgery. You've got Ben White, who had knee surgery and only really covered right at the end of the season. So that, you know, I do genuinely think we have to be careful with these players at the start of the season, that we don't just rush them back into going. Unfortunately, at the start of the season, sin a championship point. Damn. Fortunately, right at the start of the season, you only play once a week. 20 mil for Trossard to Bayern. Yeah, there is rumours that Trossard could go to Bayern. That came out today from reports in Germany. Interestingly, on that, Trossard's got a new agency. Trossard got a new agency at the start of July. That does typically mean that a move is on the cards. And the agency is based in Germany. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. One to keep an eye on. I mean, that would be a good move for him, to be fair. What did Fabrizio say about GYOKERES currently? Fabrizio, for those that prefer the Fabrizio approach, said, and I quote, "The agreement between Arsenal and Sporting for Victor GYOKERES is getting closer after new contacts today. Negotiations between the clubs were never off, despite reports as GYOKERES only wanted Arsenal. Arsenal now willing to get closer to 70 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons." Excuse me. So there you go. Sinner one. Shame. I wanted Alcaraz, to be honest with you. Check flight radar, private jet flying from Stockholm to London. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know where Victor GYOKERES was at this current point in time. There you go. 1.1k watching. Yeah, it's crazy. Could that possibly fund Rodrigo enough? More like Eze, to be honest. If I had to put money on it, I would say this is how the rest of the window looks, right? And this is like, it won't be like this because that would be a crazy thing to predict. But if I had to predict, I would say Mosquera. Well, I think we're gonna announce Madueke this week. I think the final part of his medical is tomorrow, so we'll probably announce him this week. I then think you're looking at Mosquera and Victor GYOKERES getting done this week, probably announced later at the week, maybe the weekend. Nwaneri renewal, I think that will happen too. Then I think we're going to go through a period of a couple of weeks of selling players. I still don't think we can move with Crystal Palace on Eze because they are appealing the Europa League thing. So I think that will give us time to make some sales. I then think we'll buy Eze. And then I think that might be it at that point, to be honest with you. Unless we sell Kivior and get Hato. But that's my feeling. Lukey, thank you for the $20 super chat. Unbelievable. Looking forward to this season so much. GYOKERES is going on the third kit. Me too. By the way, I made the promise. to Jakub Olofsson. We are putting Viktor Gyökeres on the back of the third kit. That is going to happen in honor of Jakub Olofsson. So we will be doing that, which is, by the way, I never have names on the back of shirts. Like, I've not had a name on the back of a shirt since I was a kid. But Jakub Olofsson wanted it, and so I will deliver. What number do we think Viktor Gyökeres is going to take, by the way? Because do you think, would Jesus really give up the 9 if that's what Viktor Gyökeres wanted? 10 is available. 14 is available. What do we think he takes? 14? 10? I don't think he'd take 10. I think he's not a 10. I'd like him to take 9, but I don't think he can whilst Jesus is here. Unless Jesus was willing to give it up, but I doubt it. I'd like Eze to start week in, week out, but where would he play? Off the left? If he was going to start week in, week out, it'd be off the left, yeah. So we will have Lewis Skelly, Gabriel Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Kivior, Mosquera, White. If we keep Kivior, yeah. If we keep Kivior. 12? Nah, Timber's 12. He can't take 12. Is Zinni going to 17? Would he want 17? Surely it's got. I think it's got to be 14. To be honest, of the ones that are available, just give him 14. I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be. He was 17 at Coventry. Yeah, but was that by choice or just the fact that there weren't any other shirts available? 1.2k in the stream. It's massive. We are massive. If you are new here, please do like and subscribe, though. Lukey, by the way, thank you for that 20. So, yeah, look, that's where I think we end up. Fundamentally, I think we end up with, unless we sell Kivior and do Hato, Rodrigo, like some of the, by the way, the numbers for Rodrigo are going up, not down. I thought, at the start of the window, we were hearing like 80 million euros for Rodrigo. Yesterday, I saw someone report, it was a Spanish outlet, so take it with a pinch of salt. They're reporting like the Real Madrid are going to want over 100 million euros for him. And when you start talking over 100 million euros and 300 grand a week, like that would be, it would be the most expensive signing in our history, which arguably worth it. But Mason, thank you very much for the 199. Says amazing window so far. So excited for the season. Me too. And honestly, seeing the pictures of the players in training, I don't know if you've been following along with like the media from the training. Martin Zubimendi looks so happy. Like every single clip and picture I see of him, he's got a massive grin on his face. Technically, he looks so good as well. Only seen like tiny little snippets, so it's very hard to judge. And I'm definitely getting carried away. But that's the one signing. I'm telling you, by the way, the most slept on signing of this summer will be Zubimendi. Like, people don't even talk about it. I saw someone the other day, someone was talking about the signings Arsenal have made, and he was like, oh yeah, Zubimendi, like, he does a bit of this and a bit of that, but what else? And I'm like, he's a top 6. Don't fall for the preseason trainings. I always fall for the preseason trainings. I always do. No, do you know what? I will genuinely be keen to see what sort of performance levels we're putting in the preseason games. Because 22-23, the start of that season, when we brought Jesus and Zinchenko in, we looked electric in that preseason, and that carried into the start of the season. So, yeah. Madueke can't get 10. Yeah, I don't know what number Madueke would be, to be fair. I don't know what number he would be. What number is he at Chelsea? I can't think off the top of my head. What number is he at Chelsea? Oh, he's 11 at Chelsea. Well, that's Martinelli's number. So, what did he wear at PSV? What number did he have at PSV? Oh, he was. What number was he at PSV? 20. Was he 20? 10. Madueke was 10 at PSV. He could take the 10 then, to be fair. That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me if he takes 10, to be honest. If he was 10 at PSV, he'd have had the choice at PSV of whatever number he wanted, I imagine, because he was there since he was an academy player. If he gets the 10, there will be more outrage. I mean, if you care that deeply, like, you know, I don't think it's a problem. Do you think that because we've spent cheap on our backups, it allowed us to splash 50 mil on Noni and big on GYOKERES? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, we could have gone bigger on Kepa if we'd pushed for Joan Garcia. Like, we could have pushed for Joan Garcia if we'd really wanted to. We could have gone bigger on Norgard and gone for someone more expensive. But, yeah, look, you've got to pick and choose where you're going to spend your money. And in fairness, every single one of us going into this summer said we have to spend the money on the attack. Like, and that's what we're doing. Now, yes, we've overpaid for Madueke, in my opinion, in most of your opinion, right? Apparently, the structure of that payment is incredibly favourable to Arsenal, which will allow us to do more business this summer. That is what I have heard. Arsenal will pay very little this summer towards Madueke, because Chelsea don't care when the money comes. They just need the big figure that they can put at the bottom of their sales list to show to UEFA. So, yeah, that deal, I guess, makes sense on that front. And with any luck, we can also do Eze. I don't think Rodrigo happens. But I tell you what, if you'd said at the start of the window, Arsenal will do Victor Gyökeres, Eze, Madueke, Zubimendi, Norgard, Mosquera, Kepa, mate, that I just wouldn't have been able to turn around and say that that's a bad window. Is it 10-10? Not quite, but it's a very strong window. It massively addresses depth issues. It kind of fills every hole that we had. Yeah, you could maybe have slightly leveled up in certain areas, but that's a hell of a summer, I think. Eze would be the number 10, and he's worthy of that number. Yeah, true. True. Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. You said you were confident of Rodrigo happening. What changed? Well, the amount we spent on Madueke, partially. The fact that his price is going up. The fact that we're still massively in on Eze. The thing is, I was confident of Rodrigo leaving Real Madrid. Always confident of him leaving Real Madrid. Now I'm less confident that if he does, we're the ones that get him, which is a shame. It is a shame. And depending on where he ends up, could be damaging. Like, I think if he ends up at Liverpool, for example, you know, there were some reports yesterday, only the sort of naff Spanish reports, that Liverpool are looking at Rodrigo. And in fairness, everyone will be looking at Rodrigo. But yeah, if he ends up there, I think it would be a problem. I do. But if we don't get Rodrigo, he'll end up at Liverpool. That's a massive problem. Yeah, there you go. I agree. I agree. Scott says Stefan is a beast. Stefan is indeed a beast. How much would Rodrigo cost? Well, originally we were hearing like 80 million euros. For some reason, despite the fact that his relationship with Real Madrid is getting worse, the number seems to be going up. So now people are talking numbers above 100 million euros, which, tying in 300k a week, like, it's an expensive deal to do. That's where I wonder if Liverpool will be able to do it. But don't know. They seem to have a lot of money this summer, so maybe they can. What role do you think Max Dalman will have? I think Dalman's going to have a big role. I do. Not a big role, but, you know, the only issue is that, like, where do you get him in because of Nwaneri as well? But it just seems like the club are desperate to give him as much game time as possible, you know? I think we'll see him in the cup games, for sure. 100%, I think we'll see him in the cup games. Eze 10, Gyökeres 14, Madueke 14. GSM, there's a minor issue with what you've gone for there. You've got 2 14s. Update on Gyökeres to Arsenal. Yeah, the update is that it's going to happen. The update is that it's going to happen. In case we don't win a major trophy, do we keep Arteta? If not, who will come in instead? I think it's difficult to tell. Like, if we don't win a major trophy, like, there has to be pressure on it. You don't get this spell forever, right? Pochettino's Spurs is genuinely a very good example. You don't get a period like this, not anymore at least, for that long, and you do have to capitalize on it when it comes around. So yeah, there will be a huge amount of pressure if we don't win something this season, going into next summer. The only thing I would say is I still just look at the manager market and I don't, like, no one is crying out to me that would be better than Arteta. I still have huge amounts of faith in Arteta, by the way. I really do. I think we could bring in Enrique if he's won everything at PSG. I don't know. I think with what he's got at PSG, I don't think he'd leave PSG with what he's built. Like, he's in a position where he can do something like legacy defining at PSG, and he's built something not from scratch, and he has spent a lot of money to do it. By the way, people make out as if he's just like cobbled this team of youngsters together. He spent a huge amount of money to do it, but I don't think he would go anywhere, to be honest with you. Enrique's a pipe dream, but I'm happy with my manager. After spending nothing on forwards for years, we deserve Eze and Rodrigo still. Yeah, I don't disagree. Like, that would be the dream. To do it, do you know what would have to happen? Like, genuinely, to do Rodrigo, I think we have to sell Martinelli. It's as simple as that. Sell Martinelli for 50+ million, which is raw profit. That is the only way I could see us pulling off a move for Rodrigo. And by the way, it would be risky to sell. If you sold Trossard and Martinelli in the same window, it would be risky in terms of continuity. Like, one of Eze and Rodrigo would have to be starting off the left immediately, which would be, worth the risk, arguably. But 11 more likes to hit 500 likes. There's 1,300 of you here, but this is unbelievable numbers for a Sunday evening as well. Absolutely phenomenal. I do appreciate it. Subscribe, please, if you're not already. We're on the way to 21,000 subscribers. Crazy stuff. We have the PSR. We could sign Rodrigo if the Kroenke splashed some more cash. Yeah, PSR is not the problem. PSR headroom isn't the problem. The problem is actual cash money that we have to spend, which the Kroenkes could take out another loan or however we normally do it, but whether or not they'd be willing to, I don't know. You do also have to factor in the risk. So let's say you spend however much this window, right? The way that the 3-year PSR cycle goes, if we put it on this year, you have a massive year that you have to wait 3 years to drop off. And so you wouldn't be able to spend much in the following 2 years at all if we did that. Thank you very much for subscribing. I think the reason why we don't spend much on attackers is for a long, long time, Arteta focused on defensive security, sacrificing attack. He did. By the way, he also walked into a team that had Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli. Like, he genuinely, and I get that the point we're at now, I think we all agree we need to upgrade on Martinelli. But when he arrived, and really up until the last sort of 18 months, it just wasn't a priority to upgrade the left wing or the right wing. So I can kind of understand why we've not spent as much on that position as any of the other positions. There you go, 555 likes. You'll have to see it. We sing at 1,000 likes. We've done only check in a summer window, so it can't be that bad, can it? Yeah, look. Trust me, we've had worse windows. I mean, even, look, I don't want it to, but even if it ended at GYOKERES, Madueke, Zubimendi, Mosquera, Norga, Kepa, I still think that is a solid window, in fairness. I just do think that extra left winger is necessary. The Kroenkes want to throw more money on their NFL and NBA franchises. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about that, to be fair. Obviously, I know that they've got them. I don't know how much they spend on them. I don't know how much they make on them either. I would take Barcola. Looks available. Does he look available, though? PSG have said he's not available. The problem is, they're in a position where they don't need to sell him. He is the perfect depth option. Like, if your front three is Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Desiree Doué, and Barcola can come on either wing, they're kind of in a perfect place. Like, it's only going to happen if they can. It's only going to happen if Barcola absolutely demands that he leaves. And I'm not sure he will right now. He's still young. Again, he can still, in that team where you've got a good chance of going and winning the Champions League again next season, I don't know if you'd bother leaving just yet. Yes, Victor Gyökeres is very close. That is why we're live. In fairness, that is the news that prompted the live stream this evening. Nelly will perform better with Gyökeres. We still need another left winger, though. I just think we need something different. For me, the problem has always been Martinelli is too predictable. The problem has always been teams don't fear our left-hand side. Whether it's Trossard or Martinelli, teams just don't fear it. You know, when the ball goes out to Saka, they are happy to leave our left winger in space. And I think, and this is where Eze comes in. I don't think you leave Eze in space. If you're like, I don't think you take that risk because he can create something from nothing. You get the ball to him in a 1v1 situation. He's so capable of taking it past you either side. I don't think you do that. Same with Rodrigo. Whereas Martinelli and Trossard teams get away with it. Trossard is great at going on either foot, and he can cut inside and shoot, and he can go onto his left and put a good ball across. The problem is he doesn't have that like acceleration. He just doesn't have the physical attributes to take players on. Like a good defensive fullback, he just doesn't. Martinelli is different. I think his style is just too predictable. He gets his head down too much. Ben Jacobs, check Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs. What's Ben Jacobs saying? What's Ben Jacobs saying? He's saying Arsenal are expected to pay an initial fee of €63.5 million for Victor Gyökeres with a further 10 in add-ons. Sporting no longer have to pay a 10% agent commission, which was required in their original €70 million and 10 asking price. The removal of this has allowed Arsenal to pay a lower fixed fee, while Sporting received the same funds due to not having a waived commission. Now add-ons being finalised. That is quality. Michael, thank you very much for the $4.99. Nothing with it, just some support for the channel. Michael, absolute legend. And Isaki, thank you very much for the $2.49. Rodrigo for 100 million plus 300k a week. Worth it. And Nelly out. There you go. Don't disagree. Thank you very, very, very much for that. But here we go. Have we got another Ornstein bomber as well? Have we got another Orny? Have we got another Orny bomber? No. Who's just said Ornstein bomber? Who's just sent me? Emil's just sent me down the river. He said nothing since last time. But, mate, this is that. We were thinking 70 million euros, 63.5 million euros fixed fee. What's that in pounds? What's that in pounds? Hang on. 63.5 euros in pounds. That's 55. That's basically 55 million quid. That's a banger. This is why we waited. This is why we negotiated. We've got them down by, you know, we shaved 6.5 million euros off the upfront fee. And that was because his bloody agent was asking for it. That basically is the 10% commission that his agent wanted. Like, literally. Like, if it was 70 million euros, he was going to take 7 million euros of it. He's not doing that now, so they've done it for 63.5. There you go. Happy days. Andrea Berta, the man in my life I never knew I needed. Yeah. An extra 6.5 mil to the Rodrigo fund. Exactly. Exactly, Vlad. That is very, very good. And then 10 million euros in add-ons. Look, whatever the add-ons are, if you hit the add-ons, it means we've done well. So happy days. And that means, so if the maximum fee, including add-ons, is £63.5 million. 63.5 mil. All in. Add-ons included. For a guy with 97 goals in 102 games. Andrea Berta. Good job. Good job. That is phenomenal. Arsenal fans, just pay the money and hurry up. We save money from not doing it. Yeah, exactly. Literally, that as another example, right? By waiting a week, we saved on the money we spent on Kepa. Literally, by waiting a week, Kepa paid for itself. It's worth it. It is worth it. Berta threatened that agent, I swear. Do you know who? No, but I tell you what, you joke. Do you know who probably threatened his agent? Victor Gyökeres. Ben Jacobs is the source of this information. He's been hot on this deal the whole time, to be fair. I would imagine Victor Gyökeres turned to his agent and said, fuck off, drop the money, or I will drop you as an agent. and everything that happens in the future, you won't be a part of. That is honestly, that's probably what happened. He was about to ruin his. GYOKERES is his biggest star, and he was about to ruin his deal. So there you go. There you go. Arteta for sure threatened that man's life. Maybe. We've spent about 77 mil so far. In all honesty, I think Mosquera's deal relied on us not overspending. Not a coincidence the news came out today. Very possibly. Very possibly. Francisco says, would you rather Eze or Rodrigo if you could only have one? Rodrigo. Rodrigo for me is a world-class talent. Eze is not quite world-class, in my opinion. Either way, I'll be happy with both. But yeah, no, if you gave me the choice. But the thing is, Rodrigo will cost, especially over the length of his contract, far more than double the money. So you got to bear that in mind. By the way, there's over 1,400 of you here. That is by far a record-breaking stream. If you could click the like button, subscribe if you're new. I mean, how we're not far from 21,000 subscribers. That's all I'm saying. If you saw it was indeed Arteta who pushed for Madueke. Yeah, he might have done. I don't blame Arteta for looking at last season and going, I need a proper backup for Bukayo Saka. And my issue with Madueke is not the player. My issue is the price. Always has been. Saw a vote on AFTV. 13% wanted Rodrigo and 87% Eze. That's insane. That's English bias. That's English tax, I would imagine. Hopefully this news gets people to stop harassing Madueke as well. That would be nice. Everyone liked the stream. Everyone liked the stream. Surely Liverpool can't afford Isak and Rodrigo. But, I mean, they definitely can't afford Isak and Rodrigo. I wouldn't imagine they can afford Isak, full stop. Maybe they can afford Rodrigo at a push. Am I allowed to give timeouts to anyone negative Arsenal fan today? Nah, only if they're abusive. Look, everyone's entitled to be to feel how they want to feel. If they're abusive, you can time them out there. Hand of Arsenal update. We got a hand of Arsenal update. Look at this, mate. We are the news. I am BBC News. This is what Hand of Arsenal has said. I am yet to see a player show Arsenal Football Club this is his dream move as much as Victor GYOKERES. He was willing to do whatever it took. The club are stunned and in awe of his commitment to make this happen. There you go. And now there's a new Fabrizio post. Look at this. We are the news. It's a video. It's a video. This is what he's saying. Can you hear this, by the way? You can't hear it? Oh, you can't hear it. That was a waste of time. I'm just sat there like an absolute I was just sat there like an absolute lemon. Never mind. Basically, he's saying it's going to happen. And he also said Nwaneri's deal and Mosquera are coming next week. That was great. That was great. I wish there wasn't a delay in the chat. That really added to the length of time that I was just sat there like an absolute melon. Great. Great. Rory took a break and came back like MJ. Does Eze solve our left wing issue? He isn't a natural winger, but he's class centrally. I don't think it solves our left wing issue. That for me is why I would go for Rodrigo. I think if you bring Eze in and you still at that point have Martinelli, and I said this on the video I made about Madueke, little plug for that, go and check it out after this. I think if you have Martinelli, Eze, Madueke as three different left wing options, I do think that is good. I do think we have gone some way to solving the issue. I still don't think you have that elite guy that you know in the biggest games, you're going to rely on him at left wing. Eze offers something completely different. Incredibly two-footed, really good eye for a pass. Like you said, he's better centrally, can play off the left. So, yeah, look, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Medical is early next week for Victor GYOKERES. 1.5k is crazy. Remember the days when you were scraping 100? I know. The crazy thing is, though, I feel like almost the entire 100 people that used to be here are still here. And that is a good sign. But no, I do appreciate, honestly, the support on the streams and the videos has been absolutely incredible. It's definitely Eze or Rodrigo, not both. That's my feeling. That is my feeling. But we'll see. We'll see. No Eze mention. Now I am sad. Yeah, but I don't think anything will progress with I don't think anything will progress with Eze until the whole Crystal Palace situation sorted. Ben Jacobs has also said this. Coventry City retain a 10% sell-on as part of Victor Gyökeres' imminent Arsenal move. It was originally 15%, but they sold back 5% to Sporting at the start of the season, and Brighton have a 15% sell-on. Mate, no wonder Sporting were getting so bloody worked up about it. They'll be left with nothing left. So, I mean, how does that even work? So I get 20. Does that mean 25% go? How do Brighton still have a sell-on, or is it Brighton take 15% of the 10% that Coventry take? Is that how it works? It can't be that Brighton are taking 15% of the whole thing. That can't be the deal. It can't be. It must be that Brighton had a sell-on clause to Coventry. So when Coventry sold him originally, they got 15% of that. And now that Coventry are getting some fee as a sell-on clause, they'll get 15% of that. It must be that. It must be that. So that'll be what? So it's normally 10%. It's not, the sell-on clause is normally is on the profit that the club makes as well. So Sporting are making what, like 40 mil profit? Are they making about 40 mil profit? And then Coventry will get like 4 mil, and Brighton will get 15% of that, which is like, what, like 600k or something? Not even that. Is Josh Nichols leaving? I'm not sure. Di, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel. Absolute legend. Welcome to the Rory Talks Football YouTube membership club. Enjoy the green name, the emojis that are coming soon. And thank you for the support. Honestly, all of the money from memberships goes back into the channel. I do massively appreciate it. A double sell-on. Thought it's usually a one-time thing. Yeah, but I think it just must apply to the money that Coventry are going to get. What's your favorite form of eggs? Don't get me started on eggs. Don't get me started. I hate them. 300 subscribers away from 21k. If you're honestly, if you're here and you're thinking, am I subscribed? I don't know. Look below. If it says subscribe, please click it. Any updates on Nuno Tavares? Well, we have a sell-on clause. We have quite a big sell-on clause with Nuno Tavares, I think. Will you watch the CWC final? Yeah, I will. We're about to end the stream so that we can go and watch that. Someone said thoughts on day 4. Crazy day, to be honest. England collapsed, and then this evening, it's back in the balance. It is back in the balance. But no, it was a good day of cricket, to be fair. Eggs are goated. The versatility. I just hate all types of egg. I mean, if you've seen the TikTok, you've seen the TikTok. Hi, Brienne says, hope you're good. Remember all the players Arteta had to get out of the club to get us where we are now. Other than trophies, Arteta brought us back to glory. Top players want to join us again. You're right. You're bang on. You are bang on. How tall are you? 6 foot. Which always sounds like you're not 6 foot and you're just saying that you're 6 foot, but I am 6 foot. Should get Gyökeres number 14. Yeah, I'd give him number 14. Mate, Gyökeres 14 on the back of the third kit will look incredible. Anyway, look, that is going to be the end of the stream. It's been a record-breaking stream, which I'm incredibly grateful for. Thank you very, very much for joining. We're going to go and watch the Club World Cup. There's no time for a quiz question, unfortunately, so we will be back tomorrow. There is a Madueke video that I uploaded earlier today explaining kind of why I think we've brought Madueke in, what we brought him for. And other than that, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, the final part of your weekend. Try not to be too hot if you're in the UK. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with either a stream, well, definitely a stream, also maybe a video. Turn your notifications on, subscribe, like. Oh, there's a bomba. Wait, there's a bomba. People are saying bomba. Or is it just one person saying Bomba? There's no Bomba. There's no Bomba. That's the end of the stream. Enjoy your evenings. I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, goodbye.